on the Canadian real estate market, and you're here watching Mr. Market with Gurvinder. So this week I'll be going over some of the numbers that we've seen definitely in the Canadian real estate market. As you can see on your screen, Toronto home prices jumped despite slowing down sales. I just want to talk about what the scope of the market today is. Just like crypto, the real estate market is changing week over week, month over month. And what happened in 2021 is obviously not going to happen in 2022. It's obviously going to be a variation. As we know, things are always changing. They're never the same, and 2022 is going to be a different year in itself. So I definitely want to talk about some of the numbers that came out in the last week or so. So this is an article from March the 3rd. I also want to talk about and share some information about you with people in the industry and what they're saying, what they're experiencing, and what kind of even hearing some rumors in the market. And obviously I'll show you some antidotes and some sales that obviously have occurred in the market in the last little bit that really will help you paint a perspective and paint a picture of where the market is today. So obviously you can utilize that information for the betterment and make better informed decisions with the information we have today. That's ultimately what I want to do, is get the right information to you. So once again, this is my perspective. This is articles based on obviously professionals and a bit of Twitter threads in terms of the information that's being shared on social media. So obviously always refer to wealth management advisors such as myself or someone that you trust that's a professional for any advice. So why don't we kick it off here today? So the first article here is by Jesse Bains. As you can see, this is from March the 3rd, and the title is Canada Real Estate. Toronto home prices jumped despite slowing down sales, which we know we've been talking about the last few weeks. This link will be in the description, so you can definitely click on it and watch this video as well. This is a 30-minute video. This is with Jesse Bains, who is the writer of this article, and we have Steve Sorowski, who's a real estate thought leader based more on the West Coast, and John Palalis, who definitely is in the Toronto real estate market, definitely is a thought leader and produces much great content. So they always have a monthly conversation, and this is just a video here. So definitely follow the link, and you'll be able to watch it yourself as well. So kicking off here. The Greater Toronto Area's real estate market took a baby step towards balance, but prices continue to rise as buyers battle over the few available homes. As we've been hearing, a lot of buyers, few, inventory is historically low, but we are seeing some trends and some changes in the market. So the Toronto Real Estate Board, TREB, says sales fell 16.8% in February compared to February 2021. Despite the slowdown, it was the second busiest February on record. So as you know, 2021, in my opinion, was an outlier. We saw the most record number of sales, price increases, appreciation, number of mortgages and volume, and number of mortgages in total that were obviously people prescribed to, and obviously the debt that people have taken over in the last since the pandemic. So demand for home or ownership housing remains strong throughout the GTA. We know that's quite evident. And while we are marginally off the record pace seen last year, any buyer looking in this market is not likely to feel it with competition remaining the norm, said TREB President Kevin Churger. This is reflected in the prices buyers are still paying, which are up 35.9% year over year. Take that in, 35, almost 36% year over year, and 6.5% month over month increase. TREB says it was close to a draw for price growth between low-rise homes and condos. So condos have been on a tear. Homes obviously were on a tear, and now condos are catching up essentially. So this number, I've shared this number before. Durham region experienced the largest year-over-year increase at 47%. So we're talking about Ajax, Pickering, Oshawa, the more on the east side there, followed by Orangeville at 41.5% and Peel region at 40.7%. New listings fell, but not as much as sales, bringing a slight, semi-balance of balance to the market. However, because inventory remains exceptionally low, it will take some time for the pace of price growth to slow, says TREB Market Chief Analyst Jason Mercer. So it obviously paints a picture of where the numbers are. What we know is prices continue to rise, inventory is low. However, we're seeing less, buyers in the market. And this thread here from Gus, I'm going to try to pronounce his last name, I'm really bad with names, Papaano, who is definitely, one of the thought leaders I like to follow on Twitter and is a real estate agent. So you can see here's where he's with Real Estate here, Toronto Real Estate. So why don't we kick it off into his thread. Again, description, the link's in the description, so you can definitely check out the data for yourself. So starting to look like the beginnings of a roller coaster market. A thread of what to expect here in the Toronto real estate next. 1 month ago, everything was getting multiples, bullies, no staging, sideways photos on MLS, wrong pricing strategy, no matter, 70 offers, 16 showings, and this is, obviously what's seeing now. So all of a sudden, right around Valentine's Day, showing slowed a tad, listings increase, buyers get cautions, and sellers have high expectations. Sellers are expecting, they're going to list it at 1.2 million, let's say for example, and I'm expecting 1.5, 1.6. So that's the mindset of definitely the sellers. So buyers now are worrying about hike rates. So we know the Bank of Canada raised interest rates by 25 basis points last week. Obviously, the unfortunate situations that are happening in Ukraine at the moment. The stock market has definitely been down with oil prices up through the roof. We're about to reach $2 a liter here in Ontario. I know in West Coast has already reached there. And many beginning to get distracted with plans for vacation, getting back to life, and obviously COVID restrictions are being lifted as masks are going away. The vaccine mandate has obviously been lifted, and it all depends on which province you reside. Of course, this does not mean prices fall, still busy, but varies on neighborhood, type of home, and the price point. Now, homes are being staged, presented well, are selling, but with less traffic as compared to before what was in the market, and not as many aggressive offers. The ones not presented right are sitting, are starting to sit on the market. So in January, February, seems 7 out of 10 homes had a sale price. Everyone was, sharing a shocking sale. Now seems like 2 out of 10 go. So that's obviously what his experience is. So again, I always take it with a grain of salt. Next, we will see sticky prices. Sellers stuck on getting a price above what their neighbors got in January or February. But with listings up, showings down, that price is much harder to achieve. So many will have failed offer nights and are relisting when they don't get their number. So buyers are now slowing down. There's going to be more options. They're taking their longer time. And sellers are expecting what their neighbor sold a few months ago or in end of 2021, as obviously those prices ran up very quickly. So we're going to see the buyer's perspective, obviously, in thinking in a certain way is changing, and the sellers obviously are getting stuck. Point number 6, this causes listings to hang around, add on new listings hitting market, and inventory will rise slightly. Buyers will buy and exit buyer pool, and others will drop out of frustration, and all of a sudden that the buyer pool shrinks. Inventory up and the leveling of the market begins. Number 7, this will play out over the next few weeks and into the summer months. July and August are usually sleepy months in real estate. They weren't so much in the last 2 years, obviously, because of the pandemic, but this year feels different in his opinions. FOMO is fading. Opportunity for patient buyers here. 8, important to understand that we have still 1 month of inventory at the moment. A balanced market needs at least 4 to 5 months of inventory in the market. So we're definitely, 80% away from there. We have less than 1 month. So that, paints a perspective for you. So to put things further into perspective, we need inventory at 2x by 4 to 5 times to see prices turn dramatically. Possible, but a long shot for this year given many factors. So here's a little bit of a stat. Toronto has 0.9 months of inventory of homes for the month of February 22, suggesting that the market is competitive and favoring sellers. 11% of the homes sold in Toronto for the month of February 2022 were bought by investors. So obviously investors are still in the market, end users are still in the market. People are still expecting those returns that they got in 2021, which obviously were drastic. So overall, market should stay competitive. So to use an analogy of member John Pallis, I shared with you in the article earlier, has in the past that explains it well. The market was going at 200 kilometers in the fast lane with the wheels about to fall. We're still in there and will stay there in the fast lane, but we're going at a more manageable, maybe 140 kilometers at the moment. So great thread here. It's definitely going to be in the description. If you like this video, give me your thoughts of what you think the market's going to be in 2022, where you see the first quarter, second quarter, and obviously the rest of the year. Love to hear your thoughts. And the final thread I want to share with you is just one example of what I saw this week, and I said, this is interesting. The weeks prior, I was seeing obviously houses selling for more than what the price was listing, and here we have an example of a bit of a less than what the price was listed for. So here, this is just Mohit, just another person on Twitter, just some thought leaders, some people that you like to hear from. So really here, when was the last time this happened? So you can see this house. It's in Mississauga, Arundel. Oh, this picture is very small, so I'm going to try to zoom in. So you see this house, 4 plus 1 bedrooms, 3 baths, obviously a garage. It was listed for 1.249 million. It sold for 110 million. So you obviously see we've been seeing the opposite, right? We'll see it listed at 1.225. We'll see it, go over 100,000, 200,000, whatever that number comes up. But you obviously sell more than what the listing price is. But obviously in this situation, it's less. Again, it could be type of the house, could be how old it is, some issues, or does it need to be gutted? So again, each situation is different. So I hope you appreciated this video. One of the, some of the biggest takeaways I want you to take away from today's conversation is, the market is slowly but surely changing. However, inventory is still not there, so if you're expecting a drastic decrease in prices, it's not going to happen. And the third point, which I just reiterated with the previous one, is that prices are staying strong. So, the market is still going strong. We're seeing less sales compared to last year, but still there's buyers in the market who have an interest. But again, that's kind of fading slowly but surely. So, give me your comments. Love to hear from you. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscribe, please, appreciate it. And if you have anything, you can always reach out directly to me. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. Have a great day, and stay safe. And we'll talk soon next week with another video on the real estate market and what we're seeing potentially a week later from here. So have a good one. Thank you for your time.